And South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg joins us this morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Morning. Good to be with you.
Later today, you'll be at the rededication of the LGBTQ Center in South Bend. Do you hope this sends a bigger message to the rest of the state?
Yeah, the message is inclusion. You know, we really pride ourselves on being a community where everybody has a place. And what's great about the center, especially when it comes to our youth, but for people throughout the community, is it helps them have that sense of place, get the resources they need to thrive. And so I'm very pleased to be able to help celebrate with them.
And speaking of that, there's a big debate right now about transgender use of bathrooms. What's the city's take on that issue? You
know, the city has a human rights policy that says everybody ought to be treated equally. And it's upsetting to see a lot of what I call a solution in search of a problem type bills that are clearly out there just to divide people. When we passed this bill in 2012, a few opponents said that there would be a crisis, that nobody would know where to go to the bathroom in South Bend. We haven't had those kinds of problems. Common sense plays a really important role here. But what's also important is to let transgender youth know that our community does not regard them as predators. We regard them as residents and people who have a place just like the rest of us. And they can be accommodated without having any kind of laws to attack them.
So if a transgender person goes to the city-county building, for instance, they can use the bathroom of the gender they identify with?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is not that difficult for most people to handle. It's being used as a political wedge in order to scare and in order to divide. Look, it's political silly season, and the circus is coming to town. I get that. But the reality is, as a community, we've not had a hard time becoming more and more inclusive, and I do think the rest of the state could probably learn a little bit from the way that South Bend has handled these issues respectfully and with an eye toward the future.
All right, all eyes on Indiana right now in the race for the White House. Hillary Clinton was in town. Ted Cruz will be in town today. What do you think about all this attention?
Well, I think any time that our state's issues, our city's issues come to the forefront, that's a good thing. Again, there's some aspects of the national political scene I'd rather do without, but you know, I certainly appreciated Secretary Clinton's visit. I think her focus on the economy, focus on a place like AM General where we're actually exporting goods to China instead of sending jobs to China, you know, is a great thing. But there's a part of me that can't wait to be able to get back to focusing on the affairs of the city.
All right, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
All right, let's get a check of your forecast with Carrie.